Hello there, and welcome to question 49 here on our SAT math questions on Wagner Academy. It says, out of 80 families in a certain town, 22 own a dog and 58 own a cat. I don't like this town that much. I like dogs better than cats. I don't know why those numbers wouldn't be flip-flop. But besides that point, if 7 families don't own either of them, what fraction of the families owns both a dog and a cat? So before they said that last sentence, you might be leaning towards thinking that 22 own a dog, 58 own a cat, but there's no families that own both a dog and a cat. Not necessarily true based on what they said there. So we've got in set theory something called Venn diagrams. You've probably heard of Venn diagrams before. We're going to use that here to help figure out the answer to this problem. So why don't I actually use different colors for dogs and cats? I'll go with blue for cats and green for dogs. There may be some families that have both a dog and a cat. That would be in that area right there. And then this is the set of all possibilities in our, we call this our universe in set theory, but outside of the circles but still inside the universe, inside the set of all possibilities, we have 7 people hanging out here that don't own either of them. So there's 7 people out here that don't own either. And then in the space contained by cats and dogs, so in either one of these, or even in the middle part, we know that there's going to be, there's going to be 70, let me fix that up, 73 inside of this space right here. You might say, well, that's not true because you have 22 and 58. 22 plus 58, doesn't that equal 80, Mr. Wagner? Yeah, it does. But remember, there might be some that share both a cat and a dog. So that doesn't necessarily mean there's 80 inside here. We know that 80 families own, or that 80 families are in this town. 7 of them, though, don't own either a cat or a dog. So we have 73 left over that have at least one cat or at least one dog. They could have more. They could have a cat and a dog is what I'm trying to say here. So what we've got here, fractions of the families own both cat and a dog. We know that this has to add up to 73. And the only way for that to happen, if we have 80 total families here, this would have to be a 7. And to prove my point here, this still isn't coming quite clear to you. This is 7, and we've got 58 total owning a cat. Then there's 51 outside here, outside of the dog set, but still inside of the cat set. If you take 51 plus 7, you're going to have the 58 total families that own a cat. Likewise, dogs, 22. If we have 15 outside there, 15 plus 7 would be 22. Now if I add this number, this number, this number, and this number together, I better get 80. That's the total number of families I have here. So let's do that quick. 51, 15, 7, and 7. You add those together, you got 14 plus 6. That's 20. And there's your 80 families that you started off with. So to answer the question finally now, what fraction of the families own both a dog and a cat? That's this part right here. That's this 7. So we have 7 out of 80 total families. That's our final answer, choice C.